Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 3. It is round 6. The first game of the round is Western Bulldogs versus Brisbane Lions at MRVL Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter. And the first quarter is done. Western Bulldogs 2-5-17 to Brisbane 5-5-35. All right, Brisbane are in front by 3 goals straight away. Let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, Western Bulldogs have kicked 2-6 to Brisbane 5-5, which has put Western Bulldogs 4-11-35 at half time to Brisbane 10-10-70. They're 35 points up now, Brisbane. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter's done. Western Bulldogs have kicked 3 goals, 6 to Brisbane 1-2. And at 3-quarter time, Western Bulldogs are down by 19 points. Western Bulldogs 7-17-59 to Brisbane 11-12-78. Let's go to the last quarter, see who wins this game. And in the end, Brisbane have won this game by 10 points. All right, final scores, Western Bulldogs 13-20-98 to Brisbane Lions 15-18-108. All right, let's go to the second game. It's Fremantle versus Geelong at Optus Stadium. And the first quarter's done, and it's level 4-6 apiece. All right, let's go to the second quarter. And Fremantle have kicked 3 goals, 2 to Geelong, 6 goals, 6. At half time, Geelong are leading by 22 points. Fremantle 7-8-50 to Geelong 10-12-72. All right, let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter, it was level 4-6 apiece. They've kicked in that third quarter. Fremantle 11-14-80 to Geelong 14-18-102. Let's go to the last quarter. And Fremantle have kicked 1 goal, 1 to 4-3 Geelong. And Geelong in the end win by 42 points. Fremantle final score 12-15-87 to Geelong 18-21-129. All right, let's go to the third game. It's Richmond versus GWS Giants at the MCG. And the first quarter's done. And Richmond have kicked 6 goals, 137 to GWS Giants, 6 goals, 440. What a big quarter that was. 12 goals in that first quarter. Let's go to the second quarter. And Richmond have kicked 1 goal, 1 to GWS Giants, 3 goals, 3. And Richmond at halftime a 7-2-44 to GWS Giants, 9-7-61. Giants are in front by 17 points. Let's go to the third quarter. And third quarter, Richmond have kicked 3 goals, 1 to GWS Giants, 2 goals, 3. And at 3-quarter time, Giants are leading by 13 points. Richmond 10-3-63 to Giants 11-10-76. All right, let's go to the last quarter, see who wins this game. And in the end, Giants win by 30 points. Richmond kicked 2 goals, 5 to Giants, 5 goals, 4. And in the end, final scores, Richmond 12-8-80 to Giants, 16-14-110. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Adelaide Crows versus Carlton at Adelaide Oval. And first quarter's done. Adelaide have kicked 6 goals, 137 to Carlton, 2-1-13. All right, let's go to this second quarter. And the second quarter, Adelaide have kicked 6 goals, 3 to Carlton, 4 goals, 6. Adelaide 12 goals, 4, 76 to Carlton, 6 goals, 7, 43. Adelaide are in front by 33 points. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter's done. Adelaide have kicked 2 goals, 2 with Carlton, 4 goals, 1. And at 3-quarter time, Adelaide are 14-6-90 to Carlton, 10-8-68. Let's go to the last quarter. Adelaide in the end have won by this margin of 37 points. They've kicked 5 goals 2 to Carlton, 2 goals 5. And final scores, Adelaide 19-8, 122 to Carlton, 12-13, 85. Let's go to the next game. It's Port Adelaide versus West Coast Eagles. And the first quarter's done. Port Adelaide have kicked 6 goals 5, 41 to West Coast, 1-4-10. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Port Adelaide have kicked 5 goals 4 to West Coast, 6 goals 6. And at halftime, Port Adelaide are in front by 23 points. Port Adelaide 11-9, 75 to West Coast 7-10, 52. Let's go to the third quarter. And Port Adelaide have kicked 3 goals 2 to West Coast, 6 goals 1. So the last 2 quarters for West Coast, they've kicked 12 goals to 8. And it's only 6 points the difference at 3-quarter time. Port Adelaide 14-11, 95 to West Coast 13-11, 89. Let's go to the last quarter. This is exciting. And Port Adelaide have won by 5 points. Port Adelaide kicked 1-4 to West Coast, 1-5 in the last quarter. Final scores, Port Adelaide 15-15, 105 to West Coast Eagles 14-16, 100. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Collingwood versus Melbourne at the MCG. And first quarter, Collingwood 1-4-10 to Melbourne, 6 goals 3-39. What a big quarter by Melbourne. Let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, 1-3 apiece. So Collingwood are 2-7-19 to Melbourne 7-6-48. And at halftime, Melbourne are leading by 29 points. Let's go to the third quarter. And Collingwood have kicked 5 goals 1 to Melbourne, 4 goals 4. And at 3-quarter time, Melbourne are leading by 26 points. Collingwood 7-8-50 to Melbourne 11-10-76. Right, let's go to the final quarter. And it was low scoring in that final quarter. Collingwood kicking 1 goal 1 to Melbourne 1-3. And the final score, Melbourne have won by 28 points. Collingwood 8-9-57 to Melbourne 12-13, 85. All right, let's go to the next game. It's St Kilda versus Sydney at MRVL Stadium. First quarter, Sydney have kicked 5 goals 4, 34 to St Kilda 139. All right, big quarter by the Swans. Let's go to the second quarter. And St Kilda have kicked 5 goals 1 to Sydney 2 goals 6. Sydney are in front by 12 points at halftime. St Kilda 6-4-40 to Sydney 7-10-52. Let's go to the third quarter. And the third quarter has been done. Sydney are in front by 3 points. St Kilda kicked 4 goals 2 to 2-5 in that third quarter. St Kilda 10-6-66 to Sydney 9-15-69. All right, let's go to the final quarter of this game. And St Kilda have kicked 5 goals 5 to Sydney, 4 goals 3, and St Kilda have won this game by 5 points. St Kilda final score 15-11, 101 to Sydney 13-18, 96. St Kilda being 25 points down at quarter time, winning by 5 points. What a comeback. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Hawthorn versus Essendon at MRVL Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter. And Hawthorn have kicked 5 goals 4, 34 to Essendon 1-8. Let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, Hawthorn have kicked 2-4 to Essendon 1-6. So at halftime, Hawthorn are up by 30 points. Hawthorn 7-8-50 to Essendon 2-8-20. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Hawthorn have kicked 3 goals 4 to Essendon 3-1. Hawthorn are 10-12-72 to Essendon 5-9-39. All right, let's go to the last quarter. And the last quarter is done. Hawthorn have won this game by 49 points. They kicked 6 goals, 2 to Essendon, 3-4. Final scores, Hawthorn 16-14, 110. Essendon 8-13, 61. All right, let's go to the last game of the round. It's Gold Coast versus North Melbourne at Metricon Stadium. The first quarter's done. Gold Coast kicked 1-4-10 to North Melbourne, 3 goals, 4-22. All right, let's go to the second quarter. And the second quarter, Gold Coast have kicked 1-3 to North Melbourne, 4-6. At halftime, North Melbourne are leading by 33 points. Gold Coast 2-7-19 to North Melbourne, 7-10-52. All right, let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Gold Coast 2-5 to North Melbourne, 4-3. And at three-quarter time, Gold Coast are 4-12-36 to North Melbourne, 11-13-79. North Melbourne are up by 43 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And final scores, North Melbourne victors by 38 points. Gold Coast kicking 4 goals forward to North Melbourne, 3-5. Gold Coast 8-16-64 to North Melbourne, 14-18, 102. Well, that concludes round 6. And the 8 is Brisbane on top with North Melbourne second, West Coast third, and St Kilda 4th. And rounding out the 8, we've got Melbourne in 5th, Hawthorn 6th, Geelong 7th, and Port Adelaide 8th. And down in the bottom, we've got Collingwood with no wins. All right, that concludes round 6. We'll see you next time on AFT Dice Season 3.